It's your job. Luckily, people can hear me, the important part.
Okay, we've got one mic, and we've got two mics. All
there
right.
you go.
Here's the get a load of this guy who didn't sound check. I'm blaming you entirely for this. You switched everything on. I just assumed you sound checked.
Anyway.
All right.
Hello.
Okay, I guess we just redo the intro now, but without all the jokes, because you can't really do them twice without being like golf club. Yeah, that was really funny when you said that a moment ago while the mics were muted. Hi, welcome to the show. How are we all? Too busy getting the cider ready. Well, I've already done that. But
It made it as far as the table.
yes. On account that these were the last 3 bottles in the old box, and so I was like, I'm going to get rid of this box, so I'll just put these on the table because we're probably going to have at least 2 of these. So yes.
At least.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well,
We are going to have a hectic time.
I mean, I'm not going to have more than one. I'm just not going to speak for everyone, However,
Today's stream will be hectic.
I'd imagine you are going to have ass cider and I'm going to have ass cider, which means we will have at least 2 of them. This statement is factually accurate. Anyway, hello everyone. How are we all?
Do you have news topics prepared?
I don't.
Audience, do you have news topics prepared?
Yes, audience, please have some news topics prepared because we're doing a bit of a chat show today. However, I was just saying to Carol before we hit go live, I don't have anything specific lined up, but just there was a couple of things to there was a couple of things that I was just like, hey, let's talk about this. I wanted to talk about just PC building. Can we build PCs yet? That kind of thing. And also, I've got some B450 motherboards, and I was just like, I might build up another B450 based, cheapest viable gaming computer. Is it worth doing that, or am I just going to build an old computer?
What is the cheapest graphics card that you are comfortable selling?
3060 12 gig.
That becomes the question, doesn't it?
Still 3060 12 gig. The question is that if I build up the cheapest viable B450 platform, is that cheap enough to warrant selling someone a B450 motherboard?
Can it play Roadblocks?
But what I mean by that is...
Because if it can, it's better than most people's gaming laptops.
True that. However, also, is chat still alive? Because I'm not seeing anything going on in chat, by the
Refresh.
way. Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
right. It had stopped. Chat had stopped scrolling. All right. 3D printers are not buzzing around in the background. The fan is on. So yes. Okay. Framework have some cool stuff. Yeah. Have you seen Framework's new stuff?
No.
Cool. We'll have a talk about that at some point then. Yep.
Have you seen the new stuff? No. Cool. Anyway.
Well, no. I'm just saying.
No. I just expected you to just be like, well, anyway.
No, but also though your response was very funny. I was like, "Have you seen Framework's new stuff?" And you're like, "No." But yeah, all right, whatever.
I have lost some of my sparkle for Framework.
Okay, you know what? Let's go then. Framework. So tell me about your loss of sparkle, and then we'll talk about the Framework things.
Because I've been seeing effectively long-term reviews of them, and just people being like, and this is the hardware I've got, and this is how much it costs.
Yeah.
And I look at it, I'm like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's still the fact to me, I'm just like, that's an awful lot of money, and for the average consumer, an awful lot of compromises. Because it's still because of the way that the CPU's set up, or the motherboards are set up, you've got 6 USB-C ports, but only 2 of them can do certain speed charging, 2 of them do different speed charging, and then 2 of them do different speed charging again, apparently, on certain revisions. And then it's like, these 4 ports will do X, Y, and Z, but these 2 ports will only do X. And it's like, for the average consumer, what? I have 6 identical ports that charge at different speeds, have different options, oh, and also I'm expected to pay 2,000 currency for this, but it's got the
Maybe.
same CPU as a $700 laptop.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just kind of,
ultimately, it's still an enthusiast platform.
and I think it's even more niche than that.
Potentially, yeah. But on the flip side, though, I think it is. Yeah, so I agree with this, but also I think you've got to pay them their dues as well, because their brand new motherboard that's just come out with
Excuse me.
with, I can't remember what it is. Hang on a sec. I'm going to bring it up to see what it is. Their brand new flagship motherboard that's just come out, you can drop into their original chassis.
But doesn't it cost more than an entire laptop? Because at least that's the comment I heard. Was just the fact of it's like, yes, or you could buy an entire laptop.
Okay, but if you say you can buy an entire laptop, what does that mean? You could buy an entire Dell Inspiron?
Well,
You know.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was just a comment. It was just like, yes, you could upgrade using this
They
motherboard,
got
but it's the case of
news about news. Where's the news?
everything we launched at Framework.
Yeah, learn more. What we announced. Okay. Right, let's have browser, Chrome, and Edge chats. Everyone come and Edge with us. There we go. Right.
No. No.
What we announced. Okay, so Framework 13 Pro. So high
Core Ultra Series 3.
Core Ultra Series
excellent.
3 with LP cam memory, haptic touchpad, 20 hours of battery life. You know, the battery life on it is great and everything. And yeah, that new motherboard will drop into the original Framework 13 chassis. So if you bought the first 13 chassis, you can just buy that motherboard and put it in your existing chassis. So is that available to buy yet? Shop all, expansion card, keyboard, motherboard, mainboards. Here we go. Can you buy that yet? 13 Pro Intel Core Ultra Series 3, £450.
That's pretty good.
So you know, yeah, you could upgrade your aging laptop to a brand new flagship motherboard.
Nice.
For £450. And like, yeah, you could buy a Dell Inspiron for that money, but that Dell Inspiron ain't going to be that, and it ain't going to be your Framework. So, you know, how much is the whole...
no, that's fine.
Yep.
It was. I can't remember who it was I was watching.
Yeah.
But they said that the upgrade motherboard was $1,300.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
And
I'm
I
sure you
can't
could,
remember.
maybe you could spec it up to that, because like this
And
is
I was just like, oh.
yeah, because like
Yeah.
that's the Ultra 5. So, you know, if you get the Ultra 7 and like maybe if you want that with like, does that come with RAM? Because like you might have to buy, I'm guessing you might have to buy some CAM modules for that maybe. So that might be where the pricing comes in. Like maybe if you buy the £800 motherboard and you've got to buy RAM for that as well. Yeah, I'm sure you could quite easily spec this up. But this is the same as people who say that the latest MacBook Pro costs 10 grand. I'm like, yeah, anyone can put all the optional extras on, idiot. You know, that might be what's happened there.
Yeah, I don't know. It was purely just a case of it was. But I was just like, oh, if that's the case, I'm just kind of like.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That much being said, though, 450. That looks extremely attractive. But if that's without RAM and without storage, then don't know. By the time you factored that,
I certainly don't expect it to have storage.
No. But yeah, also you probably need RAM for that, and the RAM is probably going to cost you a lot of money right now. So this is not quite indicative because yeah, you can't use your existing RAM with it.
So that's a good point.
Yeah, because it's going to be the LP cam module. So yeah, I could see this being a bit expensive, but also again, still you can drop that into the. So my point is that they're achieving the original goal, which is a modular, upgradable laptop. They're doing exactly what they said they would do. How much is the laptop right now? Laptop 13 Pro. Configure now. So Series 3. So it's 1,200 quid for the laptop. That's the DIY edition.
So yeah, just click through the configurator down here to select basically the bottom option.
Yeah,
on each
okay.
one.
So Ultra 5. with 16 gigs of RAM. That's entirely reasonable. Oh, did anyone see how much that added onto the price?
Just click on
None. Oh yeah. 240 quid. Whatever. Memory's hex right now.
Yeah.
Fine. Terabyte SSD. Oh, that's kind of daylight robbery, but you could buy your own.
But also, that's how much they cost anyway. That's how much like an SN
Really?
7100 is.
God. Okay, fine. Price is a hex right now. Yeah. So Windows, bring your own. Yeah. Incidentally, a lot of people are saying how, Framework have been reporting that like 50% of their sales have been with Ubuntu on them. However, I was watching the WAN show earlier on, and like I think Luke immediately was just like, yeah, no, most of those people are just going to install Pirate Windows. Like, don't get me wrong, some of those people might be sticking with Ubuntu, but most of those people are probably just not paying £120 for Windows, because who the hell pays £120 for Windows? So yeah, all right, black. Loving the translucent options. That's so cool. You could have the laptop that's like hackers. Yeah, the translucent. Translucent purple. I would love the translucent purple. That's sick.
No, it's not an iMac G4.
It's sick. Shut up. I grew up watching Hackers 1996, and he had the transparent laptop, and it was sick. Anyway, British English graphite, whatever. Blah 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 blah. Anything else we need? Power adapter.
That's not bad.
Oh yeah, for 100 watts I assume that's really nice. 60 quid is a bit steep, but fine.
Yeah. Then you need to add in your ports.
Yeah, most popular combination. 2 USB-Cs, a Type A, a HDMI. Okay, sure. So how much? Quick select. 19. All right. Add-ons, fine. Okay, so that's taken us up to 1733. So yeah, it's pretty expensive. But so let's factor in the fact that prices are wrecked right now, because like our perception of how much a laptop costs doesn't really account for this. So
whilst it's US pricing,
okay.
Is that it? No, it's not. It's whoops. Did that one. It's that one.
Okay.
And they review laptops. And this is their website for finding deals on laptops. So you can just go, I want a laptop in these price ranges.
Oh, cool.
What can I get for this much dollars?
That's neat. Yeah, sure.
I want video editing next. I want it to be light and portable.
Okay, yeah.
Skip to results. Here are the ones that we have reviewed and think meet these criteria. Boom, here you go, it's one of these kind of thing. And you've got, you can do a selector arm on that.
I get it, yeah.
But you can just go, show me everything up to this price.
Yeah.
And they will also rate whether they think the price is good.
Yeah. So just as some basis comparison, how much is a MacBook Pro 13-inch right now?
There's no pros on that list. That was really awkward.
I mean, just pull up the Apple website.
Yeah. But it was just the fact that I was just like, I can click MacBook and scroll. No, I can't.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see the value in that website, but rather than it still requires a little bit of trawling to find something. Mainly just because the framework is such a specific product that we do need to craft the scenario where the framework would be attractive. Like, I am not going to suggest that my sister buys a framework laptop. No,
indeed. 14-inch.
Sure, yeah, it's got it. Yeah, from 1700.
Yeah.
Now that gets you a MacBook Pro, but still. Now, the framework does have an amazing new screen on it and stuff like that. So, no power adapter. Jeez. Well, so how expensive is that framework looking now? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not going to pretend that the framework is a nicer laptop than the MacBook Pro. However, if you're a nerd and you want the modularity and stuff like that, we're talking about premium laptops. They cost a lot of money. And also, again, right now prices are kind of hecked, and if you factor in that, let's pretend that RAM and storage are twice the amount they should be, that means you can instantly slash off a theoretical about £200 off of that price to get the price that we would have expected to pay at the end of last year. You know, in November, that framework was probably approximately £200 less, and then so that gets us down to about 1,500, which for a high-end thin and light powerhouse, you know, a high-end thin and light laptop, that's just kind of what they cost. I'm not going to say that is amazing bang for buck. I wouldn't buy one of those. Personally, I would buy secondhand Dell Latitude, stuff like that, because they are just so much cheaper. However, if you compare it versus what else you can buy for the same amount of money, dollar for dollar, you know, if you want a laptop of that class, that's just how much they cost, you know. So, yeah.
I think the problem is, though, the side point, is the MacBook is a nicer laptop.
I would agree with that. So, again, with the framework, you are paying a premium for it being a framework, which means you're paying a premium for the modularity, the repairability, and also the principle of the thing. You know, you're paying for it being an underdog brand. So these things are, you know, so for that reason, I'm not going to say that it's good value per se. And like I said, I would, you know, if my sister was going to turn around to me and say, I've got 1,700 quid to spend on a high-end premium grade laptop, should I buy this or should I buy this? I'm going to be like, you buy the Apple, you know, out of those two options. However, for me, I'd probably quite enjoy having the framework because I would enjoy having the brand, because the brand is trendy. For it being an underdog and it having that modularity to it, I would enjoy that.
I think the other thing to compare as well, though, is just that the M5 is probably going to run circles around that.
Oh yeah, this is true.
Because it's the Ultra, because this is spec'd up with the Ultra 5.
Yeah, that's it, and that's
So if you put in the Ultra 7 to make it closer,
now we're at £2,000.
It's a £300 difference against the framework, which is kind of unfortunate.
So the framework is a niche product, I don't think it's fair to do direct comparisons because it is a niche product. However, I think the price is reasonable for what it is. Whether that is what you need or not is another question, and that's your decision to make. But there are going to be some people who are just like, I really want that. I want the modularity. I want the repairability and all the rest of it. And I will absolutely pay a premium for that, just on principle. You know? So that's where framework are up to. But if we look at, in terms of other stuff they released as well, though, they released a bunch of other new accessories, and I think framework is in a very healthy place at the moment, and they're looking at other things as well. You know, there are a couple of people whispering in framework's ear, you know, including Linus Tech Tip Sebastian, saying, please make a TV, because the TV market sucks right now. And if framework turned around and made a TV that just had no adverts on it and was just a goddamn TV, you know, there'd be a market for that. So yeah.
Because I was just looking at the comparison to basically see if you buy the same Panther Lake processor from someone else, how much you spending. And the answer is about £1,500.
Yeah, or $1,500.
Dollars,
Yeah. Although that much being said, like I would imagine that the framework is like the dollar per pound conversion probably is. Can you change the currency there?
I don't know. Oh, apparently.
Yeah, because I was about to say, because like it's going to be a slightly different number in dollars, but it's probably not as it sure as hell ain't going to be direct conversion. We all know that. As shocking as it is, we kind of generally assume £1 per dollar, which is garbage. Expansion card. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and then we quick selected.
That was bizarre. Yeah, there you go. So that works out at $2,000.
And is that that's with the ultra set? Yeah, it's about the same. God, it's £1 per dollar. I hate it. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it is the 358H.
And I did
select the correct one.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends on.
It's $500 more expensive.
Yeah, and so at that point, this is the point where we sit down and be like, okay, what is the dollar value of it being modular? You know, what is the dollar value of it having the 16 by 10 screen? Well, I'm not sure what the Omnibook has actually. It might be a 60 by 10 because that's a 16-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 16 by 10. Never mind. What is the dollar value of it being fresh, grass-grown indie company kind of thing? You know, so yeah, it's up to you what value you place on that. The average consumer places zero value on that. And some people in the audience may place zero value on that, but also there are other people who are just like, yeah, no, that's $500 to have all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and to be honest, if I were spending a four-figure sum on a laptop, I might be willing to pay that as well because of the repairability. Because the single biggest reason why I never advise people to buy $1,000+ laptops is because if the motherboard dies, that's it, you lose. You buy another laptop. You know, this is why I can't deal with why I don't like gaming laptops, because you know, you get a high side short into the CPU, you lose. Go and buy another laptop. You know, and this is the solution to that. Because on this one, you can actually buy another motherboard for a reasonable price. Hell, you could buy a newer motherboard. Your motherboard dies, you can now buy the latest one and drop it into your existing chassis.
Yeah. I don't think it makes sense to upgrade. I don't think the framework laptops make sense to upgrade.
No.
But I think they make sense to replace if dead. At the moment, because none of them are old enough.
Probably
I think in a few. I think we're kind of
I see.
2 years-ish away from that.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, let's say that your laptop has gotten older and you've got the itch for an upgrade. Yeah. You're going to sell your existing framework and buy the latest framework instead of taking the motherboard out and being like, what do I do with this now? But then on the flip side, they sell that natty little case. You can put your old motherboard in and turn it into another PC. Yeah. You know, they've got solutions to that as well, which might not be the most cost-effective option, but it is an option, and I think it's super cool. Yeah, you know.
But I think it's also the case of you look at it and go, how much could I just sell this entire laptop for?
Yeah.
How does that equation work out on getting an entire new laptop with a new keyboard, with a new trackpad, with a new clickers in the trackpad?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and I think you're right, because that's what I advise people to do when they have older gaming PCs and they're like, I'm going to upgrade my CPU, motherboard, and RAM, and I'm like, unless you really like the rest of the stuff in that PC, you may as well sell it as a working PC and start from scratch, because otherwise you're going to have 70% of a computer that can't be used because it's missing the other bits. So the ecosystem has to be there in order for it to be an option next time you upgrade. But this is the thing, Pyro, is thus far Framework are making good on that. Like, I was skeptical when Framework first came out. When they first came out, I was like, there's a lot of people that have taken a swing at this and no one has ever followed through. They are following through.
Yeah, because you can just buy all of these motherboards.
Yeah, and that latest motherboard you can put in the earliest Framework 13. They are sticking to it. So, yeah, I think it's valid.
I've just noticed that the back to top spins as you scroll.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. But yeah, I don't know. Other things that Framework have come out with, though, they've got a new OptiLink thing, so you can connect eGPUs to their laptops, which again is just like, I'm still not sure of what the use case for that kind of thing is. It doesn't appeal to me.
It's a two-in-one.
Yeah, they've got a two-in-one. Yep.
It's a two-in-one framework.
Yeah, have they got their new keyboard there? How much is their new keyboard? Keyboards, middle.
Oh, keyboards.
Yeah, because they've just released a new keyboard that is in the style of the Logitech K400, and I'm curious as to how much it costs. Is it on the website yet? These are spare parts. Looks like it might not be listed yet, because you would imagine they would put it at the top as a new thing. But wow, there you go. There it is. Have they got a price on it yet?
No.
No. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, because not that I was planning on buying one, but I just wanted to know how much they were charging for it. Because that's their answer to the Logitech K400, basically. And that might be interesting, because this is the thing. The K400, this is a really useful keyboard, but my God, it sucks to type on. This is the worst keyboard to type on in the world. It's awful. But it's so convenient as a keyboard, though. I've got two of these, and I use them all the time. But my God, they're awful to type on.
I'm intrigued slightly, just that it comes with a USB
adapter extension card.
It comes with a USB-A dongle. Just obviously because we're in the land of USB-C these days.
Yeah.
And their laptops are USB-C laptops.
Yeah.
And so on. So it's just interesting that it only comes in USB-A. But I guess if you're connecting it to your device.
Yeah, don't know. Are they better than the Logitech touchpad key? Well, that's the thing. It's not a high bar to cross, because the K400 sucks balls. So yeah, I would bet money that this is better than that. The problem is that I can't help but imagine that's probably £100, that keyboard. But yeah.
Yeah.
And that would make me sort of, The problem is I don't use any of these in a place where I need the keyboard to be good, so I'm not willing to pay top dollar for it.
Does Keychron have anything like that?
That's a good question.
I don't think so is the answer to that. What's combo? No. The answer would appear to be no.
Very well.
No.
But yeah, at any rate, though, that's the new Framework stuff. Framework as a company seems to be doing very well, and I support them. Like I said, there's folks in the chat that are just like, it's overpriced. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Like I said, a lot of the value in them is subjective, and if the value isn't important to you, then no, it's not going to be good value to you. But yeah, there's certainly an audience for whom this stuff is amazing, and I'm very glad that they exist. In short. Oh yeah, they've got their desktop, which is the Strix Halo desktop. I can't remember if I told you or not, but I've got a Strix Halo mini PC on the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know when it's going to be here yet.
That's not bad.
But yeah, I have a Strix Halo mini PC on the way, which will be coming in for review, and the brand, who makes it, I can't remember, the company that it's coming from, they want me to do a gaming performance review on it. They specifically, because I was interested in it just because I want to have a look at Strix Halo and stuff, and be like, everyone's raving about this, how good is it, And I was just going to review it as just like the state of mini PCs and what they're useful for. But they said, yeah, we want you to do gaming performance. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that, because that was going to be one of my main points of focus is, is this a good LAN PC, for example? Is this good value as a LAN PC?
Yeah. My first question will be, have they ever released a UEFI update?
Interesting. Yeah,
because most mini PCs have no support.
Yeah, well, let's have a look, actually, because I agree. A lot of mini, I've got an example of a mini PC on the shelf back there where the support was to find the drivers for it. I had to go to a forum, a third-party forum, where a man, presumably one of the guys who was an engineer for that company, had posted a Microsoft OneDrive link to a pre-made Windows image for it. That's how you get the drivers for that wretched thing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Build a website. What's wrong with you?
You don't even need to build a website. You just need to drag some INI files into a zip folder and share that on OneDrive.
At least, yeah, but like also build a website. What's wrong with you? So yeah. Anyway, let's see. Starred emails. Starred emails. Who makes this thing?
Ah, yes, it's made by Gucci.
Actually, it's Geekom. So yeah,
Okay.
I have not researched this. They offered it to. So firstly, I've not done any due diligence on this. It might be crap. Basically, they said we want to send you a mini PC. I'm like, cool, thanks. Here's my address.
You replied to that email.
Yeah, but also that's because it was that simple. If they'd started going through a lot of things and paperwork, I would have started going, lost interest. However, they said, do you want to look at our mini PC? I said, yeah, here's my address. Please send me one. And they said, cool, it's on the way. And I'm like, excellent, that's going to get done. If you want me to do stuff, that's how frictionless it needs to be. Send me the thing and I'll do it. So yeah. Anyway, Lead Farmer says yes, but yeah, who is Geekom? Let's look them up.
Geekom.
Yep.
Oh, let's switch back to browser with chat.
High performance mini PCs.
Apparently they have a UK
Yeah.
website.
So I don't know if this product is out yet. There's no embargo on it, so yeah, it's a gaming mini PC. It's got an AMD AI9 HX 470. Apparently, it's the A9 Max 2026 edition.
The who, the what now? AMD for what?
Well, look on their website.
No, because I've not
Oh.
even heard of the processor existing.
Oh, I see. It's an AMD AI9 HX 470.
It's 470. Oh, that's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
Wow, I'd literally not even heard of that existing. Huh. Oh, it's Gorgon Point. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is the latest thing.
Huh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, do they have a release day on it?
This is, yeah,
Launch
it was... That's...
Yeah, it's basically brand spanking
yeah.
new, yeah.
Yes.
Do you send it back when you're done bench? This one I get to keep, but also they're getting a video in exchange for the product here. This is gift in exchange for video. So yeah, like obviously this is the point where we have that weird conversation about what is sponsored content. They are sending me a gift with expectation of getting a video out of me. That is sponsored content because I'm being paid in merchandise. But yeah, at the start of a video like this, I would have a disclaimer thing that will appear in the bottom left saying gift received. You know, product was a gift. I get to keep it. So that will influence, you know, obviously that technically influences my opinion about it because I got free stuff. I get to keep it. But also, I have no obligations. You know, I could slam this thing if I wanted to. This is effectively a wine and dine, whereas I'm probably going to speak highly of it because I got a free gift. But whatever, it's up to the audience to decide how much to trust my opinion there. So yeah, gift or gift, real. So yeah, anyway, yeah, have they got it listed? It's the it's the A9 Max 2026 edition. There it is, A09 Mega?
No, because this has got the 395.
Oh, yeah. It must be the new version of that one then. So, yeah, it looks like it's not listed yet.
The thing is, Gorgon Point is not the replacement for Strix Halo.
Oh, okay.
Gorgon Point is the replacement for Strix Point, which is the standard laptop CPU.
Ah, okay. I didn't realise. I thought that was Strix Halo.
No, Gorgon Point does not have a good graphics card in it.
Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
So if it is that, and they want gaming reviews, your gaming reviews will be, it plays games at low at 720p.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
It has the same integrated graphics as a 7600.
RIP. Okay. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't made them promises or anything. It will do what it does.
Yeah.
They asked me for a gaming review. That's what they're going to get. And if they, if the conclusion is you guys probably shouldn't have asked me for a gaming review on this, then so be it.
Yeah. So unless it comes with a GPU in there, that will suddenly change the conversation entirely.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it says.
interesting.
It does say what integrated GPU. It says it's the upgraded AMD Radeon 890M. So I don't know if that is. I don't know if that's the name of its integrated GPU.
Is the 890M?
Strix Point. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. But that's kind of my point. I'm just like, what? Okay. It will be interesting to see what turns up.
Yeah. Actually, could you, because that was on Tech Power Up, can you just bring up, have they got relative performance there?
No, because it's because this is a laptop thing.
Yeah, so it's very difficult to give a straight answer to that, yeah.
But their comment is 1600 by 900? Maybe.
Ooh.
1080p?
Yeah.
1440p? No.
No. Fine. Yeah, we'll see how it does. Yeah, that is a bit concerning considering they're saying that their MSRP on this thing is $1,700, according to the email I've got here. So that's a bit concerning if they want gaming performance at $1,700 and it's got a 720p GPU in it. But we'll see. Yeah. Does the sponsor ask? It depends on it. In this instance, again, there's no obligation. For something like this, I would probably send them a draft and just be like, "Hey, here's the video I'm going to release. Do you have anything to say about this before I release it?" I will give them an opportunity to respond to my comments because they might turn around. Like if I say, like for example, if I say there was no driver updates available for it, there was no BIOS updates available for it, if I give them an opportunity to respond, they might be able to turn around and be like, "Oh, we're going to get that available. We'll make sure that's available by this date," or something like that. I can give them an opportunity to respond to criticism, which might result in more information being available. So it's not that they have editorial control per se. I will give them an opportunity to respond to my comments.
My only counterpoint at present is they want to sell their A9 Mega Dubry Watsit, which is the 395.
1600. Blimey. Yeah, some of this pricing
for 3600, not 1600.
3600. Yeah.
If I go to Framework,
what are they talking
and then
about
select
there?
it, it's $2,700.
Wow, that's also just expensive. Like that's does that come like with the case and stuff?
The case is like $100.
Okay, yeah.
But either way, you're still saving $1,000. I'm sure you can find a case inside $1,000.
Yes, message received. Yeah, that's a bit strange. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
Maybe if I go into the configure, it will give me a choose case option. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah, $3,100. Yeah, it's spiked up, but also now you've got a framework, not a who the hell is this brand kind of thing. So yeah. Oh, that's kind of neat. The desktop has the front modules as well. I didn't know that. That's cool. Like I said, just cards on the table here. I'm not going to bat for Geekom here. I'm just saying they're sending me one of their computers. I'm slightly sad that it's not Strix Halo because I misunderstood what that was apparently. Yeah. Because that's because everyone says how Strix Halo is apparently this amazing thing, and so I was interested in looking at that. This sounds like it's basically just going to be a new high-spec mini PC. And it sounds like it's probably going to be a bit too expensive to justify, but whatever. You pays your money, you makes your choice. I'll say, you know, this is how it performs, this is how much it costs.
Yeah.
My conclusion is probably going to be, I don't think it's good bang for buck for gaming, but hey, this is what it does. If it's useful to you, then buy it, I guess, you know.
However, yes.
Yeah.
I think
if you murder the machine and they ain't happy, can they stop you releasing the video? No, they cannot. Not unless, the only time stuff like that, I don't think I've never gone into anything where they can editorialize. But I think also like there is a world where if you do sponsored content where because some people will turn around and say, what is your rate for a video, a la how much do we pay you to make a video about this product? And at that point there is going to be an expectation that they have some editorial influence. They are going to say, these are our expectations from this video, we are paying you to make this video, therefore we have some amount of creative control within reason. Obviously you're not allowed to like lie for money, etc., you know, or knowingly lie or whatever. I think there are rules on that, whatever, within those bounds. However, also though, this is one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of sponsored content from me, is I don't go for stuff unless I think I'm going to like it, because I'm not a review channel. I'm not interested in getting stuff that I think is going to be terrible. Although that much being said, I'm trying to get into the realms of just accepting more stuff anyway in general, so I get more opportunity. So yeah. But yeah, also though, there's a lot of stuff that I just take a pass on because I just look at the product and I'm just like, just doesn't look like a good product to me. I'm not interested in looking at this. It just doesn't. Yeah, this does not interest me. So yeah,
this does not spark joy.
No. Like I get a decent number of offers for thermal cameras, and a lot of them, a lot of the thermal cameras they have that, you know, when you check the spec, the resolution is like 128 by 96 or something like that, and I'm like, this is half the resolution of the current ones that I currently use and recommend. And no, I'm not interested in reviewing this, because my review is going to be, it's half the resolution of its competitors, don't buy this. Unless
it's like 50 quid or something, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I need to I would need to have a look at some recent examples and check how much they're charging for them, because if it was half the resolution but it was $100 or something, then it would be a case of, okay, look, this isn't the spec isn't great, but this is a thermal camera this is a poor man's thermal camera, because it's very easy to criticize the resolution of the product and then turn around and recommend a thermal camera that is $250, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, I can't afford that, because, you know, I take flack in the comments section as it is for people saying, oh, you just keep using thermal cameras to do everything, you know, what about people who don't have a thermal camera? And it's like, yeah, honestly, it's an expensive tool. It's, you know, it's more expensive than the hot air station and the soldering iron that I'm using put together.
Yeah, but also, like, based on the cost of repairing stuff.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
You'd make your money back so fast.
I do think it's worth it, and I do think it will pay for itself. However, as someone who at some point had a tools budget of no, I do understand the resistance of making that initial investment.
Someone who refused to invest in their craft.
It depends. Like, it depends if the work is there yet.
Had an ideological resistance to it.
I mean, to an extent, but like, for example, you know, when Lewis Rossman was doing board repair and he was saying, like, you know, buy a decent hot air station, you know, like, this hot air station costs $400 US, you'll make that back in 2 repairs. And I'm like, okay, well, now you're assuming that I am working at the level where I can charge $200+ per repair. I might not be in that situation, you know. So, I think that makes a lot of assumptions. It's not wholly incorrect, but I think it makes a lot of assumptions about where you're currently at in your current business venture, you know. So, yeah.
Okay, we only do the ouch test here.
Yeah.
Is your device dying? Ow!
Well, yeah, that works unless the bit that's shorted is sitting on a power rail, in which case it doesn't go out, it just sinks into the power rail. So yeah. Soren was against thermal cameras for a long time. Yeah, that's it. Thermal cameras are worth every penny. They will change your world, but it's very easy to spend someone else's money. You know, that's the thing I say a lot.
Money.
Well, yeah, it is really easy to spend other people's money. And also the fact is, I have never bought a. Well, no, I bought my FLIR second hand. So I did buy. I was about to say I've never bought my thermal camera. I got review samples. You know,
you bought your thermal camera with hard grafting video uploads.
No, I didn't. I made friends with Thermal Master, and they sent me another one. I've got the P4 now as well, coming soon.
Like you actually replied to an email?
Yeah, like I don't want to brag or anything, but yeah, Thermal Master sent me another thermal camera. So yeah,
because you actually replied to an email.
Well, also because they don't piss me about. They say, "Do you want to look at our no thermal camera?" And I say, "Yeah, here's my address," and they send me the thermal camera. That's how you get results out of me.
So what's new about the P4?
It's a slightly different one because initially when I saw them, I was like, initially when I saw that there was now a P4 available, I was actually this is all going to be in the video, but whatever. I was actually a little bit annoyed because I was like, I've just told people to go and buy a P3 and you've just made a new thermal camera. That's a tough sell for me, dude, because that kind of makes me annoyed when I tell people to buy this thermal camera because it's new and good, and then you just immediately make a newer one. This one's slightly different. So yeah. The main difference with this one, firstly, it's dual lens. It has, so this one is like a FLIR one. It's got a visible light spectrum and a thermal sensor on it.
Oh, but they put it next to it.
Yeah, so you get a hybrid image like the FLIR gives you. That is good because it means you get outlines of things. However, no macro. No macro at all.
Interesting.
And that kills it dead for the kind of work that I do.
Yeah. Where does macro start for that? Effectively, where's its minimum?
Probably about yay.
Oh, that's not awful.
It's usable.
Yeah.
It's usable in a pinch. However, if you're fixing motherboards, I would say no, buy the P3. That's going to be the conclusion of this video. If you're fixing motherboards, buy the P3. However, if you want to look at hotspots in your PC, if you want to look at electrical control panels, if you're looking at larger objects, this is going to be better because you get that hybrid view. So the conclusion to the video is going to be, which one should you buy? It depends on what you're doing. The P4 is not an upgrade from the P3. It's got the same sensor in it as well. It very much depends on what you're going to be doing. So yeah. So yes, I actually need to get on and record this video. I'm late on that. It was expected to be done this month, and it is still this month. But like I've got to, it's the end. We're coming up to the end of this month.
It's okay. Your upload day is Tuesday. Today is Saturday.
I don't want to record a video over the weekend, you know. So yeah. Yes. Bottom line is, if you're an IT technician, a cheap thermal camera is better than none. Yes, absolutely. Don't be afraid to buy a second-hand one. Like I said, my first thermal camera was a old FLIR 1, I think. It was out of date when I got it, and it wasn't very good, and it wasn't very, and like the resolution on it was like, 96
it was
by
approximately
56
no
or
by
something.
no.
Yeah. However, it was good enough because even if it doesn't give you a precise whereabouts, you know, if you're looking at a motherboard and you've got a hotspot appearing on a power rail where you're never going to find it with your fingers, it will show you approximately where it is, and then you can go in with your little fingernail going, and you can go in there with some alcohol and try and get bubbling alcohol and stuff like that. If it gets you to 1 square inch of where it is, it is useful. Yeah. So yeah, you don't have to buy an all singing, all dancing one. So yeah, and also, you know, like these ones are 256 by 192, I think. And you could work with half that resolution.
Yeah.
It's not going to be great, but it will be 100% usable. So yeah. Are you going to sell the P3? I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to sell the P3. This is still going to be my daily driver. But you know, it has occurred to me that I now have a spare one. The last time I had a spare thermal camera, actually I've got 2 at the moment. What happened to my P2? Did I loan my P2 to you? I don't know why I keep accusing you of taking my old tools. I need to. Yeah, I've got a couple of spare webcams. At some point, I should do something with that. I would say I want to do a giveaway. However, doing a decent giveaway with international shipping is sketchy, because the person who wins the giveaway might be in Iran or something like that, and I'm going to be like, how the hell am I going to ship this to Iran? You know. So yeah.
Oh my God!
It's 6. It's not. Oh my gosh. Oh, Thermal Master, no, you can't be selling it at that price. That's dead in the water at that. Is it really? Okay, ooh. The first price we saw on AliExpress is 600 Great British pounds. And I'm sorry, Thermal Master, no. That's a hard no. P2 hiding in the far corner of Graham's shop. Whoops. That's fine. I pushed a button on the desk. I'm just going to see if my P2 is hiding over here. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. My P2 is over here. It's not lost. I'm going to have a cider. Do you want any of these?
Yeah, sure.
We've got the White Wigs, which is a sweet 6%. We've got the Smuggler, which is a dry 6%, and we've got General Pitt Rivers, which is the medium 6%.
I'll drink either of the options. Any of the options.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have the sweet one, I think.
I'll drink Pitt Rivers.
Very well.
But yeah, the things I'm kind of interested in are like the ones that say that they're like long range ones. Just because I want to see if they really are. Like, how can they be long range?
It looks like that's got a tiny little telephoto lens on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like I'm like, okay, but how?
I could believe that, because, like, you know, you can make tiny little telephoto lenses. You can get them for cameras. You just have to make it from the exotic material.
Yeah, it's just like, how are you providing me with 15x zoom on this thing?
Don't know about 15x, Chief.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of digital zoom on that, and the resolution that these things have, that's not going to work out.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point, and I'm just like, but how? You're telling me this works at like a mile?
Yeah.
How does it work at a mile?
I'm curious. I'm just going to plug the P3 into my phone here for a sec. Hold on. Also, Retro News says accusation look at Caradog.
Congratulations to Caradog on winning the giveaway.
Right, let's go to. Firstly, I'm just going to set the focus on this. Okay, right. We're going to take a bit. These things are terrifying sometimes. Okay, so firstly, let's just take a picture of Caradog. Can we have bench cam? It's going to be the fastest way of showing this, yeah. Okay, so can we have bench cam the right way up? Oh my God,
I can't.
okay. Yeah, all right, that's fine. I can work with this. So here is Caradog in all of his terrifying definition. Behold this visage. So now let's get Caradog zoomed in. So let's go back. So let's go into, what can we do here? All right, I'm at 15x zoom now. So that's what 15x zoom gets you. Look at those pixels around the edge of the face, man. So, yeah, it's got 15x zoom. What are you talking about? I don't see the problem. That's 15x, right? You know. So, yeah. No, Thermal Master, it is not 15x. However, yeah, there's still good things. Have you still got AliExpress open, or have you closed it all?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the P3 going for right now? Because that was kind of creeping up in price.
The P3 266.
Yeah, that's about right. I thought it was about 250 quid. So yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like it.
yeah. It's still cheaper than a Fluke or a Flare, I'd imagine. So yeah. There's the handheld gun style ones as well, and every now and then I get an offer on one of those. But the thing that keeps steering me away from them is that like if the battery goes dead in them or something like that, you've got just an annoying thing that needs to be plugged in to work, and you've probably got to wait for it to boot up and stuff like that. And it's going to have like the slowest microprocessor in the world in it. Whereas a Thermal Master, like I can plug this into whatever phone I've got in my hand. But also the reason why I don't like the gun style ones is that I can't really fit them under the camera. So yeah. The other thing that puts me off about those.
Oh, yes. Get this gun size one to shoot thermal rays at lions.
I see.
Pew pew.
Yeah, infrared. Oh, it's their hunting line and stuff. So yeah, that's got a. What resolution is that? I want. Yeah, I don't know. Thermal Master, because Infrared are Thermal Master. They're the same company. They have been doing this. They have been doing the naughty thing where they fudge the numbers on their resolution because they've got their X3 resolution, which basically means it's upscaled. One thing I noticed about the P4 though, when I got the P3, one of my criticisms is that the box for the P3 said 512 by 256 resolution on the side, and I was like, no, it's 256 by 192. It's upscaled. This one doesn't have the resolution on the side of the box. So, like, I doubt that they listen to me personally. However, they've probably had like more than one person has called them out on that, has called them out on advertising it as a 512 by whatever resolution when it's actually not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of nice.
This one is supposedly 384 by 288.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure if that's actually, yeah, I don't know is the answer to that. Based on the price of it, it's entirely possible.
Yeah, because it's, 560 something quid, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thog me.
Anyway, thog you. Oh yeah, I didn't thog you. Get thogged. Yeg.
Blue steel.
I don't understand this reference, the Zoolander reference.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was just the same, like, thog me sounds like, a look from Zoolander.
Anyway. Yeah, all right, there we go. Well, I think we have reached the end of that discussion. New topic.
Can I have your P4?
I mean, I don't know about have, but you can certainly, once I've done the review of it, if you have uses for it, I can certainly, like, until I decide what to do with them, you're happy to borrow it. I'm not sure how serious you are.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, yeah, if you want to borrow it and play with it, then yeah, sure.
That was all that was going to happen.
All right, fix something. I've got nothing to fix on stream today, I'm afraid.
Other than creating a Chrome OS doodad.
Yeah, I've got a Chrome box here that needs redoing, so I've got to download Chrome for this thing. However, yeah, I want to do some PC specking. I want to find out if it's worth building this AM4 thing. It's a Guado.
Fantastic.
AliExpress has a BSIDE SH7 320 by 320 for 187 US. Yeah. See, part of me wants to be like, I should buy one of those and do a comparison. but also like 100. I don't need a spare webcam. I don't need a spare thermal camera, and I'm not going to earn 187 USD on the video. So, yeah, it just doesn't work. Yeah.
Oh boy, this is a 2015 Chrome machine.
Yeah, this is a piece of garbage. I'm hoping that I just do the reload Chrome OS and it just works, and I kick it out for diagnostic fee.
Wow, look at those download speeds.
With the best will in the world, the customer is a potato. No offense. I mean, it's not like you've never spoken ill of a customer before.
No, the worst part is, though, I can just imagine who it is. Like, not the specific person, but just, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are some people where, lots of folks at this point would be like, oh, you should upsell them on a new computer. And it's just like, no, I just want to make it work so they can go and carry on checking their emails, because that's what they use it for, you know.
Why did it? Huh?
5800X3D relaunch.
Oh.
Yeah, it's still a competitive
Apparently,
CPU.
supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a competitive chip, so I don't see why not. Yeah, if it gets more of them out onto the market and compresses the price of it,
Why do you not have 7-zip on this?
because the 5800X3D is an annoyingly expensive CPU.
All of the X3Ds are annoyingly expensive.
Yeah. What do you think is a topic about? What do you think is a topic about OEMs ditching Windows for the next gen machines, offered Linux preloaded?
Dell's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
No
It's
one
not really,
cared.
Yeah, it's not really anything new.
We'll see if people care this time.
Yeah, I think an attractive price will certainly help, and I think it's a good idea. I think Linux is very much in a position where the average user, who is the average user just browses the internet. I think it's a great solution, because it's Chrome OS without the restrictions. Sorry, that's not phrased very well. Chrome OS works because most people just browse the internet, and you can do most of what you do in a browser. Therefore, you can absolutely run Linux because it can run a browser. However, you have the advantage of also being able to do other stuff on full-blown Linux, whereas on Chrome OS, you only get Chrome. You are restricted to just Chrome. So,
Which for most people is better. Most people are actually potatoes.
yeah, but also just having it boot up Linux and just run a browser, they're going to probably have a hard time cocking it up by any other means. Most malware and stuff is just not going to run on the Linux computer. So, yeah, don't see an issue.
What do I do with this bin file?
Did they not have instructions on the thing? I thought you had to do this using a Chrome extension.
Oh, I just downloaded the image for the machine because I thought it had a specific image for the machine.
It does. However, normally to do this, you normally have to. There is normally a Chrome extension that creates the flash drive, that creates the recovery drive. So Google search for Google search Chromebook. Hang on a second.
Just go to okay.
Let's go to the website that it says literally on the screen in front of you. Google.com/ChromeOS/recovery. There is a thing that you can thing.
Oh,
it's been a while since I've done this.
Thanks for doing an internet search instead of going to the website. Go. Thank you.
Microsoft is screwing us as they won't sell OEM licenses. Yeah, that's one of the things. I didn't say it at the time, but I noticed that about Framework. With Framework, when they were selling Windows as a $120 add-on, and I'm like, what the hell? That's just retail price. Like, where's the OEM?
I thought that's the price you had to sell it for.
I don't know.
I thought.
Well, I mean,
I thought
I'm not saying that's
irrespective of the price you buy it for. I thought that was the price that you had to sell it for, because that is the price of Windows.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a knock against Framework per se,
Because
but
that's how much I thought Dell charged for it.
I don't know. Yeah, regardless of, let's assume the worst and assume that Microsoft Microsoft dictate what the sale prices are. Yeah, Microsoft saying no, you have to pay $120 for Windows is just kind of asinine in this instance. They're not helping themselves. When you offer someone a $120 discount to not use Windows, it sounds like you're doing them a favor. So yeah, just overwrite whatever this is.
Okay.
They asked 200 for a 5800X. Oh yeah, 250 euros would be steep for a 5800X 3D. Yeah, yes.
Enter the model number of the Chromebook.
Yep, so that was a GUADO.
Oh, keyboard.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Can I?
Airwaves are busy. GUADO space.
No model found.
Okay, just try D.
Found a match. Oh.
Select the model from the list. Okay. GUADO.
No, this is a manufacturer.
Yeah.
So is the manufacturer GUADO?
I mean, is GUADO listed? It'll be
because
under
it says
G.
Asus on the top of it.
I'm aware of that, but is GUADO listed? No, in that case it'll be Asus. So yeah, pick Asus then.
Asus.
Go down to G. Oh, nothing there. Yeah, okay. I think this is a weird. This is a Chrome box.
Chrome box.
It's a CN62.
Yeah, okay. Chrome box. Oh, it just comes up with a picture of a laptop for Chrome box. That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
I would like to use
It's a weird thing. I've
the
not
DJI wireless mic, please.
It's not funny, but it's always funny. Whatever. Yeah. I need to get the Linux video finished. I've got to make more progress toward that this weekend.
It's fine. That can go up on Tuesday.
Maybe. The problem is every weekend, Sunday rolls around, I'm like, at last, a day off for myself, and then I spend all day playing MechWarrior Online instead.
Yeah.
So.
I went down a mini rabbit hole with that. Trying to find the mech game I played when I was but a wee boy.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is that the MechWarrior franchise is a hot hecking mess, and it's been under a billion different names because it keeps the license. Although Microsoft have been the license holder for a while, it keeps getting kicked around between license holders and studios. So the MechWarrior games are not MechWarrior :XYZ. Sometimes they're called MechWarrior, sometimes they're called Mech Battles, sometimes they're called BattleTech because the brand name is BattleTech. That's the tabletop game. But there's no consistency at all. So a lot of people have probably played a BattleTech game and not realized that's BattleTech. But what triggers them is when they see a picture of one of the mechs from it and be like, hey, I recognize that specific mech. And it's like, yeah, it's because it's BattleTech. You know, they have a series of mechs.
I'm trying to find the one that I played where there was an arena against bots where you upgraded your mech and you bought different ones and you could buy upgrades and stuff.
Yeah. And
I can't find that as a description in any of the ones I've looked at.
Ah, interesting. That certainly sounds like BattleTech, because that's the only system that would have the lore and the system to have all of that in place.
And it's like, I found descriptions of like, oh, PvP online arena. And I'm like, cool, but it wasn't online and it wasn't PvP.
Yeah. Is the audio whack, people? Yeah, becoming robots. Okay. It is probably to do with USB. We're currently hammering the USB port to create this recovery image.
Yeah.
We probably should have plugged that into a front port.
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Also, we're probably making a recovery image on the microphone. So
No! That microphone shows as being 0 of 0 gigabytes available.
okay, yeah. Give us a moment, guys. We'll sort it out in a sec. Or maybe apparently it's hit and miss. Maybe refresh. Maybe original thing. Whatever.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm
Did
going
we
to
drop
quickly
a
scroll
billion
back.
frames? No. We're not at a bajillion CPU percent.
Yeah. Or also just bring up the stats view.
Hold on. Stats.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we haven't dropped frames. So yeah, it's not OBS. Anyway. Yeah, it'll probably sort itself out when this flash drive is finished. Anyway, where were we? I was going to quickly talk. People were talking about CPU still. Lowest price you're able to, yeah, 320 euros for a 5800 X3D. Yeah, I mean 50. Well, we're going to look up prices on this stuff in a minute because I'm interested. We're going to talk about AM4 stuff in a minute.
Have a thingy.
Okay, right. We have stopped hammering the USB port. People,
Stay.
please say if
Stay.
the audio is still whack
Stay.
from this point onwards.
Don't stay.
Okay. I'm going to start restoring this Chrome box. Okay, right. AM4. What? I want to look at CPU prices. If I want to build an AM4
eBay.
system, yeah, like how much can we buy 5700 X3Ds, 5800 X3Ds, and 5600Xs for? What are our options? And I want to know second-hand and brand new prices because, yeah.
I would expect the brand new price to be no, certainly in the UK market.
Yeah, I mean, has anyone, like, retail store, retail price? What's available? And do you just want to switch to browser capture, just so people can see what we're doing?
30.
I'm going to continue being a producer while we chat. Oh, more cocoa got £235? Oh, that's
Yeah,
for 5700 X3D.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's also out of stock.
Yeah.
And appears to have just existed as an out of stock listing for ages.
Yeah.
Is it purchasable? Do they expect stock?
No.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't exist at the moment. Okay, so yeah, we don't know how much it would come in yet. What's the second-hand pricing on them?
So second hand, you're looking at about 260.
Oh yeah, 260
260
available.
plus,
Yeah,
basically.
it's not great. Yeah, like the price on them has gone up because you can't buy them new anymore, I think.
How much is a 7600? Yeah, 180 quid.
Yeah, and that's assuming that you're not buying like a 7500F. I mean, that's the 7600 X3D in fairness. So yeah, but still, like.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's a 7600 X3D.
That looks like an outlier, but also yeah, 7600X opened, never used, £125.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you could find a 7500F, which is going to be almost like 95% as fast for £100 on AliExpress.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the problem. But of course, this requires you to build an AM5 system. So basically, it's a case of how much. Yeah. So this is the problem: is how much are you paying extra for it to not be AM5 before it's just the same price to build AM5?
Yeah.
Because if your CPU is costing you another £100 because it's AM4, at that point it's like, okay, well, how much cheaper was the AM4 platform in the first place? So yeah.
So do I want? Yeah, B650. That's what I was meaning. A brand new B.
This has just automatically done the thing. I plugged in the flash drive and it just did it itself.
B650. Maybe £100 to get something.
Minimum viable, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking 100-ish, 120. You could get away with spending £70 if you wanted to buy a B650M S2H.
Yeah, with 2 USB ports on it probably.
Yeah, but you could buy that
however,
and a 9500 and a 7500F and stick in a graphics card and you have a gaming computer.
Yeah, okay.
And you are at budget of £300.
Yeah. Let's do this thought experiment because
Which is,
I want to build up a gaming PC. Do I build a minimum viable AM5 with one 16 gig stick of DDR5, or do I build up one of the B450 boards I've got? So yeah, let's hash it out.
Also, are we on desktop? The browser? Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's do it.
So
we are going to rename this. Actually, we're just going to go to AliExpress.
160.
AliExpress.
116 looks plausible to me. You might be able to find it for 100, but you know we'll allow a little bit of fluff pricing just in case.
I was just making sure they still existed because they got
yeah.
replaced by the 9500 like 6-7 months ago.
Yes, true that.
But yeah, they're still available for like 105, 118, 118, 105.
Yeah, so 105
Yeah.
then. Yeah. Hypothetically, what's the 9500 on AliExpress? Does it exist? How much is it? Is it not
$200, £200? It's I
yeah,
would
so
expect
no.
they're crazy expensive.
Yeah, so no, basically. Yeah, you still buy the 7500F then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you have the board B450, surely a 5500 is the CPU. I don't like the
No, because
5500.
the 5500 is shit.
Yeah, it's not a good
It's missing
CPU.
half the cache.
Yeah, it's missing half the cache, and that really hurts, man. Yeah, you buy a like for the B4 for the AM4 solution, I'm going to be expecting to buy a either a 5600 or a 5700. Preferably the latter, unless the price is truly abominable. That's what I'm expecting us to opt for when we get there in a moment. So yeah.
I wish there was an in-stock tick box.
Yeah, I'm astonished they haven't added that, considering, like, yeah. The moment this started up, you would imagine that there would be huge demand for an in-stock option. Yeah, I guess you scroll down to find the first one that's actually marked as in stock then.
Yeah, I was just rechecking there wasn't a tick box for
Oh,
in-stock.
right, okay, yeah. Okay, so scrolling down for the first thing that's actually in stock then.
Single 8 gig module.
Oh, no. No. God, it's still awful, isn't it?
Single 8 gig module, single 8 gig module.
Oh.
2 8 gig modules. 170 pound for 2 8 gig modules, or 160 for one. At least this is dramatically better value.
Open that in a new tab and then just check the third page.
Yes, and it's actually available.
Okay, it is real. Yeah.
I was checking it was real.
Yeah, check the third page just to.
1x16.
Yeah, because like
1x16, 2x8.
well, I mean, even if you
2
buy a
by
1x16, that still assumes that you're going to find a matching module to add in later. So, are we entertaining 2x8?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do the 2x8 one then. So yeah, put the 2x8 one in there. Like, this isn't necessarily what I'm going to buy right now, but this is just, we're saying, if hypothetically, that is viable.
Where was it? That one.
Yeah. Okay. So add that then. Cool. All right.
Storage.
Are we gonna count
SSD.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's build up the entire PC. Yeah, okay. And yeah, 1 terabyte, and yeah, 130 for a reasonable 1 terabyte. That's not going to surprise me. Yeah. LXRNQ. Mushkin.
This is
They
all
still
awful.
exist.
This is all awful, and I hate it. Fine. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock.
Okay, it's out of stock. Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Silicon Power Team Group.
No, NVMe.
Good RAM.
NVMe.
Silicon Power.
I'm not desperate enough to be putting SATA SSDs in yet. Silicon Power. What's that Crucial E100?
Here.
Yeah, like I'm sure that's not going to be good, but at least it's got a brand name on it, you know. Or well, not to say that the other ones aren't brand names, but at least that's got Crucial written on it. That looks like just an OEM drive. Yeah, is it real? From Curry's, fine. I mean, yeah, apparently it's 5,000 megs a second. Whatever, sure.
The most SSD ever.
That's probably as good as you're going to get until you get up to Samsungs and stuff that are going to be significantly more expensive. So, yeah.
Fangxi SA80 for £2 more.
Yeah.
Crucial P. Oh, I was about to say a 2 terabyte 3 plus. What are you on about? Oh, it's out of stock.
Is a SATA drive still fine if not moving massive files? I mean, yeah. Because the thing is that cheap NVMe drives, once they've filled up their cache, the transfer speed is going to crash down to like 100 megs a second anyway. So a SATA drive that maxes out at 500 is kind of fine, to be honest. I think my main grievance with SATA drives is it now means that you have that discrete physical box that you've got to wire in. You lose the quality of life of NVMe, and also you theoretically lose those big burst speeds, because no matter how crap your drive is, even if like that Crucial E100, let's pretend it can only reach half its advertised speed. That's still 2,500 megs a second burst speeds, you know. So, like, SATA SSDs are fine, but in the year of our Lord 2026, please, can we not? You know, I'm not that desperate yet, basically. So, yeah. What are we looking at now?
Graphics cards.
So
your choice for in-stock stuff is an RK770 at 280, or a 6800 in stock for 373, or a 9060 XT at 380.
Okay, so the reality is, for the price point that we're speccing to, my advice is going to be buy a second-hand graphics card. And although let's double check that, because my go-to has been the Radeon 6800, but the Radeon 6800 will run you about 300 quid now on eBay. The big value of the Radeon 6800 has dropped off. And we need to double check that that's actually still that still makes sense.
Yeah, 275-ish.
Yeah, so if let's say you can buy a 6800 for, let's call that 290 because that's what most of them are at. What does £290 buy you brand new? The nearest we've got
an A770 for 280.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the 6800 versus the A770? Can you look that up on Tech Power Up?
Tech Power Up, A770. I'd expect the 6800 to be faster.
I believe it is.
My expectation.
Yeah. However, like
what's
the delta though? Yeah.
50%.
Yeah, it gets annihilated. Yeah. So
holy shit.
Yeah. So yeah, if when you're building at this price point, you buy a second-hand 6800.
That's nuts.
That's why I keep buying them.
Oh my god, 50%.
That's it. I don't want to be buying 6000 series graphics cards, but
Jesus.
Like you know, like 6 months ago, you could buy those for £240. You could get a 6800. It's crazy how what amazing bang for buck it was. You paid £240 for a 6800, and it wrecked everything up to £100 more expensive, kind of thing. You know. So yeah, that's.
You could get a B570 for 230.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was A770. Yeah. What are we looking at for the B570 versus the 6800?
What did I say? B570. Yeah.
I think the 6800 still wins, but I think it's going to be a lot tighter.
Wait, what? The B570 is slower than the A770? Oh, never mind.
No, what?
That'll make it 52%.
Oh yeah, okay. Obviously the B570 has way better quality of life than the A770.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, the 6800 still wins. So yeah. So for these specs, I would whack in, I would just put in £290 for a 6800. Because if you're building a computer and you're trying to build at the kind of price point that we're looking at, you buy a second-hand 6800. Or in the UK at least, anyway.
Right, change manual enterprise to 80. There you go. Add a case.
RTX 5050. No, probably not. What's the 5050 do versus some of these ones? Like, I would class...
I mean, the problem with the 5050 is it's
a 5050.
And it's 8 gig.
Yeah. How does the 5050 fare against a 3060 12 gig? Because the 3060 12 gig is the 3060 12 gig is my minimum viable.
About 10% faster.
About 10% faster. Okay. Yeah.
But also it's 8
gig. Yeah. So I would, if someone said it has to be new parts, then we could have a conversation about the 5050. However, in the real world where you can use reconditioned parts, I'd be like, no, you buy a 3060 12 gig and you get 50% more VRAM. So yeah, because that's the thing about the 3060 12 gig is it is aged incredibly. And I think the 3060 12 gig, I think you're still getting them for 200 quid on eBay. Do you want to double check that? I think they're still just about holding at about £200. 8 gig, 12 gig, £200. There you go. Yeah, they're still 200 quid. Even slightly lower than... Oh, that's an 8 gig, yeah.
Yeah, that's a TI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, about £200, yeah. Yeah. You can still pick up a 3060 12 gig for £200. And like, for me, I buy one of these in stock at all times. I keep a 3060 12 gig in stock. Whenever I sell the one that I've got, I buy another one. Because it is your minimum viable product, basically. Anything that's slower than this is probably not worth spending currency on, and it's fast enough to actually give some kind of good user experience. Yeah, 200 quid's not bad, exactly. And like, by the time you go less than that, the value drops off, where you get to the point where like, some people might turn around and be like, oh, well, you know, I could buy a 2070 Super... Well, the classic one is, I could buy a 1080 Ti for £150. Which is about the same speed. It's like, okay, but you're buying a really old graphics card now, and you could spend a little bit more and have something that is actually modern.
And also has more VRAM. Sure, it's 1 gig, but it's still... No way, it has...
Yeah, true, yeah.
But also has more VRAM, and also supports DLSS.
Yeah. Used cars are a little risky. Yeah, you are going to roll the dice on that. So, yeah. Again, that if like I said, if you're dead set on using only new parts, then yeah, the RTX 5050, you can have a conversation there, and you can be like, okay, yeah, you basically you get a warranty with it, but it's an 8 gig card, which means it's going to age horribly. Yeah. So yeah, that's your trade-off, and it's your choice there. Now, obviously, recently I've been stung on 2 failed second-hand graphics cards. I had the 6800 that died that we looked at on stream, and then one of my 3060s died, but I was able to fix that 3060. So, yeah. I'm not going to say, oh, it's easy, just fix it. It's like, well, I got lucky with that one. It was a fixable one.
But also, that's 2 in 6 years of second-hand graphics cards.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How many brand new ones have you had fail in the same time?
I have bought and sold a lot of second-hand graphics cards. These are the first 2 failures I've ever had.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, that's a good point. So yeah. So are they getting risky? I don't think so. I'm also.
I think 1080s and 1080 Ti's
Oh, 100%.
are extremely risky.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why. Like every now and then, someone will be like, "Oh, 1080 Ti is the GOAT. You should get one of those. They're 100." I'm like, no, do not buy a 1080 Ti in the year of our Lord 2026. If you've got one, fine, great. It's holding on. Keep it, but don't buy one in 2026. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great card, but don't buy one.
It's okay. You can just depress the 2000 series owners.
What, by the fact that the 2000 series is just completely irrelevant?
The fact that a 2070 Super or a 2080 or slower is slower than a 5050.
Yeah. That much being said, the rest of the 3000 series is functionally irrelevant as well. The 3060 12 gig is the only 3000 series that is relevant.
Yeah, and I guess what the 3080 12 gig is going for secondhand, because
How much is the 3080 12 gig going for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about
let's
to
check.
say.
Yeah, let's check that. Yeah, what's the 3080 12 gig going for?
3080 12 gigabyte. Oh, because if you can get a 3080 Ti for £200,
Wow.
then you're in.
Is there
it's
another
parts
one?
I just realised it's parts
yeah.
only. I was like, if you can get it for £200, then yes.
Yeah, for a minute I was like, wait, what's the catch?
The catch is it's dead.
Yeah, also the rest of them like 465, 350?
Yeah, for like 350.
350, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
350. So, 3080 what's the 3080 versus the 6800? I'm saying that just because also I know roughly how fast the 6800.
3080. There you go. 3080.
That's going to be the 10 gig though, isn't it? Or, okay, it's probably close enough.
It's about
yeah.
20% faster than a
20% faster.
6800.
Yeah, and it's twice the price.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not twice the price, but it's like £200 more.
But,
so, yeah.
but you get DLSS 4 and 4.5.
Yeah, so if you really...
Which makes it worthwhile if you... Well, because you can use DLSS 4 in ultra performance mode at 1440p. You can use FSR3 in ultra quality at 4K and be like, my eyeballs don't bleed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, that upscaling does an awful lot of carrying.
Yeah. However, I don't think DLSS is worth another £200.
But
I don't think the ray tracing on it is worth another £200. Not for the class of PC that we're building here.
yeah, certainly
So, yeah.
not that, but yeah, the DLSS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so going back to our build then, we buy a 6800 because it's the only... the 6800 just wins this fight. Assuming that you're comfortable buying a second-hand graphics card, which I would encourage people to be comfortable with. Yeah, you are going to roll the dice, but like I said, I've bought quite a lot of these. Only been caught out twice, and that was after buying quite a lot of second-hand graphics cards. So I still fancy my odds, despite being burnt very recently. And the 7000 series is Radeon 7000 series is not relevant. It's still too expensive, and the 90 series is a good option if you're buying new, but is still too expensive for the class of computer that we're building to. It's too expensive for a minimum viable product, which is what we're speccing.
Yeah, I was just looking about. You can get them
Yeah.
about 350.
Yeah,
The 16 gig ones. So yeah.
and a 6800 is faster. I think.
Probably, but also
Yeah,
I'd take
9060,
the
yeah.
9060.
Oh, actually, no. The 9060 XT and the 6800 look like they're about the same speed. So yeah,
Yeah, I'd still take the 9060 if it was like 4% slower.
yeah, and yeah.
But
So
yeah, but it's faster. It's 4% faster,
yeah,
which is neither here nor there. But it's just a case of if the 6800s creep up anymore,
yeah.
they start becoming a bit irrelevant because the 9060
Yes, yeah.
XT 16 gig.
I think £300 is the ceiling for the 6800.
Yeah.
If it goes any higher than 300, then it's just no. As
Yeah.
it is, I'm not buying. I need secondhand graphics cards. I need to buy stock. I just don't really want to pay 290 for a 6800, knowing that they were 240 before.
Yeah.
I'm holding out. If they hit 300, then I'll buy another one, just because the prices are still creeping up. But I'm holding out for them to go down a bit more. I'm not sure how they're costing that much, considering graphics cards are not getting more expensive right now. You know,
because nothing's pushing them down.
Yeah, I guess.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine that supply is,
yeah.
But there's still some demand.
I bought a 7800 XT a couple of years ago for $480. Can't do that anymore. No, the 78, the Radeon 7000 series, it was relevant when it was their current lineup, and it did make sense. I bought a couple of 7800s and 7800 XTs for builds, and also the 7600 XTs had their place. However, it has basically been replaced by the 90 series now. There doesn't really make sense to buy a 7000 series brand new.
Yeah, they didn't drop in price enough second hand either.
Yeah, and the second hand prices are still just too high. So yeah, right now the 7000 series is basically irrelevant. Not because they're bad cards, but because the price point they're at just doesn't make sense for any build that you're doing. So yeah, that's an important thing to note, that my opinions here, when I'm talking about the relevancy of these cards, this isn't to say whether they're good or not, it's just whether the current price they're at makes any sense at all. So yeah. Cool. One last look and then we
Oh my god, 6700s are 250.
Yeah, you buy a 3060 12 gig. Yeah, you buy a 3060 12 gig. Because I think the 3060 12 gig is about the same speed, but it's cheaper.
230.
Yeah. Yeah, you buy, yeah. I don't understand how the 6700 XT is commanding the price it does, considering the 3060 12 gig is about the same speed, if my memory serves me. Oh no, it's a little bit. No, it's not actually. Oh, I lie.
Significantly different.
Oh, interesting. Can you click on the 6700 XT just so we can see a direct shot? Because now
I was trying to find it in the list and was failing at reading.
Yeah. Oh, it's 20% ish.
Hold on, where?
It's just gone off the top. Yeah.
There. Yeah.
20. It's about
20% faster.
It's about 20%, and this doesn't factor in the fact that the NVIDIA card will give you DLSS and ray tracing, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah. So if it's 230 to 200.
Yeah, 200 to 230. Like, I'm kind of tempted to be like, actually, just buy that now. That 230 one. That looks like a good price. I'm very tempted to just buy that. I don't know. I'm tempted to. What do you think, chat? Would you rather have? Okay, so 20% performance difference. Would you rather have the 3060 12 gig or the 6700 XT? Same VRAM. The 6700 is faster.
I was about to say I'd rather have it for 150, but then I read it was parts only.
Yeah. That's a really tough call.
Oh, I read that as collection only from SP780L, and I was just like, sold.
The joke is that's here. So yeah. No, I'm not driving 60 miles to get a 6700 XT.
Yeah, hold on. Where does it tell me where collection is? Oh, where the hell are you? You're there. Where is this?
Oh, London way.
Absolutely not.
Although, ironically, I'd be an awful lot closer to that when I go and see family soon, TM.
Yeah, it was just a case of I didn't know if it was going to be like 60 miles, and it was going to be like here.
Yeah.
And I was going to be like, oh, I'll be there next week.
Yeah, because as this map shows, I have family in Farnborough, so yeah. For me, I'd like the 6700 XT. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, the ray tracing is basically irrelevant because you're not going to have a transformative ray tracing experience on this class of card anyway.
No, you need. I would contend 4080 or faster.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. 4070 Ti or faster.
Yeah. The upscaling The 3060 is going to have like better quality upscaling, but again, you're not going to be upscaling by much because you're not aiming for monster graphics on this class of card anyway. And the 6700 XT still has FSR 3, which is serviceable.
If the stuff's been upgraded, that's the difference with it.
Okay, yeah.
So it's significantly more of a toss-up than...
Yeah. I think it's going to come down to the... I think you're going to have to be buying a 6700 XT for like £210 or something like that. For a tenner extra, I'd take the Radeon.
Yeah.
For £30 extra...
Certainly for like a Nitro Plus or something like that.
Yeah.
Over insert generic... Oh no, it's a tough.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. That was the 6700. I can't remember where the...
Yeah, whatever cheap 3060 it is,
Yeah.
However, if you're paying like £230, now you're paying £30 extra for the Radeon. I don't know. Again, I might be inclined to save the 30 quid and buy the Nvidia.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, let's carry on with our build.
Which most £50 case are we going for?
To be honest, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to spend half an hour discussing cases.
We're going to go for an H7 Flow.
Yeah, I think cases are too subjective to be worth having a conversation about, in all honesty.
So that was more me looking at what exists here that isn't a tin box.
Yeah, that's it.
And then take the XT H7 Flow, done.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So yeah. Yes, greetings new people joining the chat.
Hello.
We're trying to build minimum viable gaming PCs at the moment.
No. Yeah, sure. Will do.
Oh, that's a GPP series. Those are the Garbo ones, aren't they?
They're also like, this is also like the PG5. I'm pretty sure this is like 2 generations on.
Okay, fine. Yeah, understandable. It's just anytime I see, it's not that I'm against Gigabyte, but anytime I see Gigabyte GP-P series, that's when I suddenly get a fight or flight response because I've literally watched one of them blow up on Paul Daniels' stream. So I'm like, yeah.
I think I think so, but either way, we're looking at like 860-ish quid.
I'm sure we could find, if you really don't want a Gigabyte, I'm sure we can find another power supply that is within 5 quid of that. So sure, yeah. So yes, okay, cool.
Oh, that's that stock.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch there, There's an Asus Prime, there's Antex, there's the MSI Mag is probably fine, whatever. Corsair CX, yeah, sure.
There you go.
Yeah, if you want to get fussy, here's a Corsair. So, yeah, no one, like, whatever. The CXs are mid, but no one argues with it. Okay, right, have we got everything?
I accidentally deleted a case.
Oh, okay, yep.
Have a case.
Oh, that's 85 quid. We can do better than that.
Oh, that's not what I thought that was.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Let's try that one again.
Just put the Montec at the top, 50 quid. That'll do.
Yeah. Have case.
Like, pick the case of your choice within £10 of this, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, 863. Have we got a graphics card in there?
Yeah.
6800 for 280. Yeah, cool. Okay, right, so our minimum viable AM5 build is 863. Oh, fine. Okay, that's not awful. It's not fantastic, but it's not awful. Let's do our AM4 build. You'll need to redo the capture on that. Might not be able to capture a oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the one. Cool.
I selected Edge, that's why it wasn't finding it.
For sub 1,000, that's really good. Oh, yeah, I think I'm depressed because you could have done that for probably 700 with 32 gigs of RAM before Christmas. I think that's what, that's the shame. We could have done that for 700 with twice the RAM before Christmas. but it doesn't matter. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what can you do now, because I haven't tried specking up a computer I haven't tried specking up a computer since December. So yeah. Also, like, I want to buy parts to put another computer on my desk on my bench. Basically, the outcome of this is for me to say, should I buy parts now to build another PC, or should I wait? You know. So yeah. Okay, so sure, let's spec with the B550. I'm going to use one of these B450 motherboards because it's fine. But the price is fine. Wow, DDR4 is just, yeah, non-existent as well, isn't it?
2x8, that will do.
Hey, America the Free with the $20, chipping in. Thanks a lot, man. Much appreciated. Your contribution to the cause has been greatly appreciated.
I should have ticked SSD. That's why I was confused.
Will you be able to sell it for that price? Yeah, so Retro News said, what would the sellout be, and will you be able to sell it for that price? I mean, we'll check this in a minute. The answer is yes, because people will just pay what the price is. You know, that's the thing, is like, that was like 863, so we've got to sell that at like 963. Yeah, you've got to sell that at like, you know, let's call it 970. You've got to sell that for £970. That sucks, man. But that's just how much computers cost in April 2026. In a minute, once we've done this one, we'll have a look at, say, PC Part Picker, and we'll see what £970 gets us from PC Part Picker. So we'll see if that's, because what we're probably going to find is that PC Part Picker is still, not PC Part Picker, PC Specialist. What we're going to find is when we go to PC Specialist, it's even more expensive. So in which case, yeah, you can sell it at that price. Not because that's good value, but that's just how much it costs right now. So the question is can you sell it before it depreciates in value? And yeah, I'm aiming to get £100 profit. And like and in the real world, by the time you actually go through and buy the parts, you can slip in an extra couple of quid profit here and there on all the parts. So I say I'm aiming for £100, and at the moment when I actually go and put it all in my basket, I will then usually just scrape off £1 here, £1 there on every single component and just find some more profit. But if I get 100 quid for the build, that's fine, you know.
There you go. Very quickly spamming stuff into the cart.
Okay, cool. So what we've got is roughly the same build, but we've got a 5600 for £113.
Yeah, and we're talking, this is all new other than the graphics card.
Yeah.
And it's 755.
Yeah.
Versus the mixture AM5 at 863.
So it's basically, it's £100 cheaper.
Yeah.
So for £100 cheaper, it's a 5600 versus a 7500F. So obviously the 7500F is going to be a lot faster, but like the 5600 is still viable. It's fine. The motherboard is fine. So I guess the only issue is that the AM4 computer is a dead end. Like, sure, you could put a 5800X 3D in there in the future, but will you though?
Well,
you know. So yeah, £100 cheaper. Is that you? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. So should I build this PC? Well, I've already got motherboards, and do I have RAM? Have I still got DDR4? If I've got the RAM, then that means I've got the motherboard and I've got the RAM, and that means that I think we can probably have this conversation. Wow, would you like some DDR3? Why do I have this? Why did I put this in the box? That's not as... I don't need to solve this mystery right now. DDR3. DDR3. I should probably chuck out this DDR3, but whatever. What are you? DDR3. Oh, this is DDR... This is faulty DDR... Yeah, this is faulty DDR5. Although I tell you what, I need to check if both the sticks are faulty. Because when I declared this as faulty, I declared it's faulty as a kit, and this was when RAM was cheap. But at that point, you would not even entertain the thought of having a single stick of RAM. Whereas right now, a single 16 gig stick is entirely acceptable given the circumstances we're in.
Yeah.
So I should probably retest this RAM kit, so I'm going to leave that out. No, the only other DDR4 I've got left is my Viper kit, which is a 32 gig DDR4 kit, which is kind of colossal overkill. Would you split the kit across 2 computers?
I mean, you could do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't on DDR4, but
Yeah.
you could do.
I mean, I guess I could... I could just put this kit in there, but do I want to sell this? That's the problem, because the reason why I've kept this is that this is a good DDR4 kit. I want to keep in my stock a good DDR4 kit. And this is... But then that much being said, that's a good DDR4 kit.
Yeah. What happened? Well, what about that DDR4 there?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Why can't I hold all this RAM?
What about those 4 modules right there?
Yeah, let's see. So that's a... this is just a hodgepodge of just Corsair LPX.
You should have 4 8 gig modules there.
Yeah, at some point I was trying to stuff all of this into a single motherboard to get rid of it, but I couldn't get the board to boot with the hodgepodge. So that's 2400 8 gig, 2400 8 gig, 2400 4 gig, 2666 8 gig, 2400 4 gig. Okay, right. So we've got an 8 gig kit, a 16 gig kit, and a single 8 gig module. So that's 16 gig kit of 2400. 2400 ain't great, but for the PC that we're building, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know that you're not really going to notice that for the spec that we're building to. So yeah, we've got RAM. So we've got RAM. We've got a motherboard. So how much is a 5700 on AliExpress? And how much is a 56?
I'd imagine.
Yeah. Basically, what's the cheapest 5000 series CPU that we can buy? Let's pretend that I want to buy one right now. What are we buying? What motherboard would I use? Oh, these are both. That's an Asus Prime with 6 USB ports on it. That's got faulty USB ports on it, and I don't know where my other B450 is, so I would use this one because this is a brand new board.
5600.
Yeah.
About £104.
Okay. UK retail was only a little bit higher than that, wasn't
5700. 160.
No, not worth it. No.
Yeah.
If we could get a 5700, I was hoping for like 120 for the 5700X, in which case I would have been like, cool, let's get one of those.
Yeah, no, and then nothing fancy on the X, nothing special for the X3D pricing.
Yeah.
eBay. Whoop. 5700 X3D. Yeah, and then 5700 X3Ds are high 200s.
Yeah, no. Also not worth it. Not for an AM4 CPU. What are these? Oh yeah, that's just NVMe adapters. Why did I buy these? Oh, I think it was just so I could, like, yeah, if someone came in and they had an extra NVMe drive and no available slots, I just bought some PCI adapters just so I could just solve problems because they were like £5 or something.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it looks like just retail off of Amazon's the best price.
For a 5600, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So, Yeah, so given the fact that I can use up some existing stock, that means I can compress the prices on these slightly. Or failing that, even if I sold at cost price...
Yeah, basically.
So basically, the AM4 bill was about £760. So normally we'd say, okay, well, I want to add £100 onto that. I could not add £100 on it and sell and then I still make money on the parts that I've got, which allows me to keep the price low, and that justifies it being AM4 to me. It justifies it being a B450 motherboard, which is also a bit like, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that would allow me to sell a gaming PC for about £760, which would be that I think is reasonable bang for buck.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I make money on it on account that I can sell this RAM and motherboard that I've got as part of that bundle. So yeah. Let's have a look at PC Specialist next and see what we can buy for. I don't know, £950-ish. So yeah,
830 gives you a 5600, an A520M, 16 gigs of RAM, a 3050,
and 500 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's not bad, but also
it's
the
a
3050. Yeah, the 3050 is what kills that dead, isn't it?
Swap to a cheaper, nastier case.
Yeah, the 3050 just makes that non-starter.
And then swap from a 3050.
This is
a 3050 6 gig, so it's the in-shittified version.
Yeah, see, just for the record, when we talk about minimum viable, and when I say I won't go lower than a 3060 12 gig and stuff like that, this is what we're talking about. Imagine spending £850 on a computer and you get a 3050 for that. You can't do anything with that. That's just dead in the water, and you spend 850 quid on it. You know, you immediately have to replace that graphics card before this thing is viable. So yeah. AliExpress manipulates prices and sales and stuff. Yeah, AliExpress, you've got to play the game with them. So yeah.
Oh my god, that was the ex-VAT price.
Ah!
So it's £985.
Okay, so yeah, we're pretty good bang. We're pretty good bang for buck right now. God, that's awful. Yeah. So yes, the short answer is me selling that AM5 system with a sale price of about £960 is great bang for buck.
Yeah.
That's a heckin' steal at that price.
Yeah.
And the only catch is that it has a used graphics card in it.
Yeah.
But I'm warrantying that anyway. So yeah. And I've got to roll the dice on that, but I still make money on it.
And you go
I could charge £1,000 for that, and
you go from a 3050 to a 6800.
Yeah, and it comes in a nicer case than a black box.
Yeah.
Mm.
They charge you £10 to send in your own case.
What?
Send in your own case.
Ah. I guess it's a £10 convenience fee because it's additional handling and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a very strange choice. I guess it means that if you want it in a particular chassis, you can do that. But I wonder how many people actually do that because... oh
God, to get a B550 motherboard, you're looking at £1,000.
That's obnoxious. What's the minimum cost for an AM5 system? Like, if I said I want AM5, what's that going to cost me?
Configure. Oh my, what? Excuse me.
£500 to £2,000.
£2,000 Intel H610 chipset, DDR4
I mean,
memory.
that's 500 to 2,000. Yeah.
I hope. Yeah, but this says B550, £800.
I don't know. I'm sure it makes sense if you click through. However, yeah, I understand the confusion there.
Oh no!
I'm throwing out this DDR3. I don't care. Be gone.
Oh no!
I have 3 more DDR3 kits that are nicer in this box.
Oh no!
Right, what are we oh-knowing?
Because they'll let you put the i9 14900KS in a prime H610M board. They'll let you put the 14900KS in a
shaking my head
H610M DDR4 board and then give it 3200 DDR4.
That motherboard will just catch fire. Like, unironically, the VRMs on that will actually just melt down. I'm not a VRM snob, but there's limits to this, man.
And it's the only motherboard you can choose.
Yeah.
But they'll let you put a 14900KS in it.
Yeah, that's not a valid configuration. You cannot run. That is a 300 watt CPU. You like looking for 350. You cannot put that in that motherboard.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, so we're not here to dunk on PC Specialist. We're here to just double check that the prices that we're coming to are actually fair and reasonable prices, and the answer to that is yes.
Okay.
God, they must make such a tidy profit on builds. Like, you know, these system integrators, they must make so much bank. I've always said that there's just no money in enthusiast PC hardware, but if you're a system integrator like this, there really is. By the time you've put all of this, by the time you've factored in all of these things, you can make bank on a build.
Technician assisted installation, Wi-Fi, surf control, whatever the fuck that is,
Probably parental control.
and data transfer, but only 20 gigabytes of data, £171.
20 gigs worth because they don't want to be stuck there all day waiting for your 400 gigs of porn. Ah! CEX worth anything? They very rarely have good value stuff. I mean, you could check them for a couple of things. You could check them, like, we could have a look at CEX and see how much a 5600 is from them. Let's do that. Out of curiosity, just pull up the CEX website and see how much they've got a 5600 for.
Oh. It's not. Oh no, it's uk.webuy, isn't it? I forgot what the CX website was. Huh. Would you like a random module of laptop RAM?
Sure.
Computing.
You just search 5600X, or are you just being a magpie now?
Well, just kind of looking at what
Curious, yeah.
stuff they have. Huh. Okay. Fair enough.
Our survey says same as retail.
115.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Sometimes I have had people come in and say, "Oh, I got this from CEX for this price." And I'm just like, "Yeah, that's a good price. That's fair enough." And you know, it's if it dies, you just take it back. So sure. However, yeah. But
They will sell this for £490. They will give you £270.
I need to go down to CEX and just sell them the 2 PlayStation 4s I've got for a pittance. Get some money for that.
God.
Although that much being said, I did meet a guy who came in the other week who he was buying stuff, fixing it, selling it to CEX in exchange for CEX vouchers, which would
Right.
get him more money if he got it in vouchers instead.
Yeah.
And then he could buy something from CEX that would work out as being economic because he'd got the voucher cost from them instead.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's an interesting strategy. So, you know, like, there's, you know, you can do stuff.
I guess.
Not anything I can be bothered to do, you know, because while he was talking about that, in my brain was saying to me, man, I don't got time for that. However, if you've got nothing but time, that's a thing you can do. Whoops.
The other thing you could do is just take your DDR3 in there. When you take the PlayStations.
I mean, they're probably going to give me like £5 for it. You know, let's look it up.
Yeah. But that's £5.
I mean, actually, unironically, yes, you're
Journey
correct.
that you're already completing.
I'm just going to say, I'm going there anyway. I've got that, and I've got like 3 more DDR3 kits in there. So sure, how much do I get for a oh, this is a 16 gig kit. Sorry, this is an 8 gigabyte kit. But how much do I get for a 16 gig kit of DDR3 from CEX?
Is that it? Yeah. Oops. DDR. Oops.
3.
DDR3. Maybe a few pennies.
£2.
Maybe £2
in vouchers. I mean, I mean, if I'm going there anyway, you know, I cash in a bunch and then there's another tenner. That pays for the fuel, I guess. So yeah, fine. Look up DDR4 out. I mean, I'm not interested in buying DDR4. Like, the only reason why I'm entertaining the idea of building an AM4 system in 2026 is I'm trying to get rid of old stock, basically. I have a couple of, I've got a couple of AM4 motherboards lying around, and I just want to try and get rid of them while they have any value at all. Because if stuff sits around in stock for long enough, it just becomes e-waste, and then you're paying to get rid of it. So, yeah. However, 8 gigs of DDR4 3200 for £22. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Or 8 gigs of... Yeah, 8 gigs, 2400, £15. Yeah. Two of them, £30.
Fine.
16 gigs of RAM. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
This is fine. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It depends on what you're doing, I guess. If you're like if you're a system builder sitting in your, if you're working out of your living room, building cheap as possible gaming PCs and selling them on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, then yeah, that's what you buy. However, without trying to look down on people, I'm trying to sell a higher tier product. And you know, like I've been saying, minimum viable, but my minimum bar is a lot higher than the true minimum. You can absolutely build a cheaper PC than what we're looking at here. However, I'm not trying to build the cheapest possible PC. I'm trying to build the cheapest possible good PC, you know.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like we could put a GTX 1660 in this computer. It's not going to be very good though. Yeah. And the customer's going to be back next month being like, oh, it's kind of slow, it doesn't run Fortnite, you know. You could do that, but that's not something I want to do. I want to build a PC where someone actually uses it and actually gets a good user experience, you know. Like, you know, you remember the PC that I built for my mate in February, where you know we chipped in all the parts and stuff and did it on cheap and all the rest of it. Yeah, he's had a ball with that, you know. It's been really nice when we're gaming. He's just like, oh yeah, I can turn my graphics settings up, and oh, this game that I like to play doesn't chug anymore and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's got a great system now, and that's very comparable to the kind of system that we've just spec'd up.
Yeah.
Just with slightly exotic parts because of complicated reasons, but speed-wise, it's functionally very similar, and he's getting a great user experience. And when we play Phasmophobia, we don't have to wait 5 minutes for him to load in.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, you're running an actual store. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I have to actually care about my reputation. Whereas when you're selling out of your living room on like Facebook Marketplace with the best will in the world, you don't really need to worry about your rep. So yeah. As an aside, I'd like a solder station. What was your recommendation? I can't remember what the latest trendy one is. I still like my Aixun station. That's AIXUN. Basically, you want a solder station that takes the JBC cartridges now. So I use the C245 cartridge, I think. Hold on.
We are checking.
God damn it, doesn't say on the side.
We are checking.
Can you Google search for me? JBC C245?
JBC 245.
C245.
Oh, C245.
5? Yeah, 245 is a thing, and then
cartridge range, long life tip.
Yeah, and then there's another one as well. I think it's the 240 or something like. Because there's a bigger one and a smaller one. Actually, while you're on the JBC website, just look up the one that I've got. That will solve this solution. My daily driver is a
C2.
C210 because it starts with C210018.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 210 is the small one and 245 is the larger one. So yeah. Basically, I use the C210 cartridges. So you want anything that takes a JBC C210 or 245.
What's the 210 you've got there?
This particular one is a 210018. It's the knife edge, yeah. Yeah. That's
a knife.
A knife! That's my daily driver, which does most everything. And then I drop down to a really small J-tip when I need to do like QFN and that kind of, and when I'm doing like trace repair stuff, I drop down to a J-tip. But as a daily driver, that knife edge does me fat proud.
You can get an ever so slightly smaller one.
Yeah, apparently so.
Ever so slightly shorter knife bit.
So yeah, I think the C210 tips are the best all-rounders for general purpose laptop repair. A lot of people swear by the 245 because you get much higher wattage, but I just don't think you can get the tips as small. But either way, 210 or a 245, I think you'll be fine. It doesn't have to be a JBC station, it just has to take that cartridge shape, because then you can buy JBC cartridges for it. And that gets you a soldering station that is like 90% as good as a JBC because it's got the same tip in it. So yeah.
Would you like a conical bent?
Which one is the conical bent? Yeah, that's basically the J-tip.
Conical bent.
Yeah. That's a J-tip to all intent and purpose. And yes, I recommend a knife edge and a J-tip in your general arsenal.
Would you like a how about a
JBC have so many just specialist tips for doing very specific things.
Would you like a whatever this is?
Yeah, for through-hole pin soldering on multi-layer PCBs. Yeah, because like look at that. Like go back to that a sec.
I will do. I'm just showing people what I'm.
Oh, you didn't have it visible. Ah. Yeah, sorry, folks. Yeah, like that. You can fit that over the top of the pin that you're soldering. Like, do you need to? No, but you could. That's a really bizarre tip. Anyway, JBC tips. So yeah, basically buy a station that takes the JBC C210 or C245 cartridge, is my advice. Pin connector cartridge. Yeah, again, just very, very specific use cases.
Or if you want the what was the other size you said?
245.
Or if you want the 245s, I was like.
So yeah, buy a cheap station that takes the cartridges and then buy some JBC tips for it. The JBC tips will run you about $50 per tip, but yeah, just the bucket. Solder pot cartridge, yeah. See, again, like looking at the pictures, I think the use cases for these are like industrial machinery where you're making hyper specialized small production scale stuff, because like look, they're putting the soldering iron into a jig to make a particular thing.
Oh,
this is for rapid prototyping and stuff like. Yeah, look, you can wave solder with that.
Huh.
Yeah, it basically means you can wave solder. Like that's kind of cool. And you can tin your wires perfectly. Yeah. See, it looks wild, but when you look, yeah, that's kind of cool that they've got these. Oh, that's cool. Desoldering. I'd never even thought of that. Look at that perfect desoldering he's doing with that. I never imagined that. That's clean as heck. Sorry, this is blowing my mind. I never realised you could do that. Look at that, he's got an official JBC scraper. I wonder how much that scraper costs.
Would you like to be officially JBC scraped?
Yeah. I want one of those to defrost my car. Allow cooling before removing the residue spray. They needed a video of just a man going in and being like, ah, you know. Ah. Anyway, yeah, the JBC soldering stations cost like $1 billion, but the tips are extremely good, and you can buy a lot of Chinese stations that will take the same tips. So you can buy a cheap station and put a JBC cartridge in it. That's the current meta for buying soldering stations.
Would you like just a square one?
Designed for use on plastic rivets. Yeah. Heat staking cartridge. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure why you would bother. Like, I just use my crappy scrap burnt up tips for doing heat stakes. Like, I use the Aixon tips that came with my soldering station, the crappy ones. I use those
because
for heat
this has
stakes.
chrome finish. Designed for use.
Yeah.
Therefore, when you put it on the requisition order, you have products which are designed for that use.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There we go. When you need to do 3 at a time.
Yeah. This thing, JBC have positioned themselves as the people that make a soldering iron tip for anything. So yeah, we could spend an hour looking through all of these wacky soldering iron
Do JBC
tips.
make soldering tips for JCBs? The collab you didn't know you needed. Would you like a droopy semicircle?
Okay, now here's a fun game. Pull up a random JBC cartridge and try and figure out what the fuck it's for. What is this for? To solder PLCC package. Google search. What is a PLCC package?
PLCC package.
Open a new tab so we can compare them. Give me a picture. Oh, okay, that's the old style QFN. It's QFN except it goes into a socket. What? So there's the sockets for them, yeah.
I see.
And go back to the cartridge. Weird.
So you can run it down the edge?
Maybe?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I just...
Yes.
Or the little grabby hand.
For
Soldering on male contacts. Do not solder your male contacts.
Okay, however, dual inline cartridge. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
It's a drag cartridge.
Anyway, find the Albineric woman. Very specific reference. That's my non sequitur that I go for. If anyone has seen the video of Sir I can't remember his name, Sir Gideon the All-Knowing from Elden Ring, talking about Mauschli. Am I going to have to?
No.
We're going to find the video?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's a very specific reference.
We're just going to go home.
Yeah. The point is, he's just like, yeah. He says this like, what if you saw this? And blah, 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 blah. What would you do? Anyways, find the Albineric woman. You know, that's his non sequitur. After the tarnished one, he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, anyway, you know, cheese to meet you. Cheese whiz, mister. Thanks. Yeah, jelly knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay. Any last topics? Yeah, the timer's on like 25, 2 hours 25, 26. We've got like 5 minutes. Any last topics? I'm gonna finish my cider. Any last topics? I think we're done. Anything else to talk about? Oh yeah, I'm working on. I've got Linux video I'm working on, and next BIOS video. I've started working on that as well.
What was your last
The last one, I demonstrated incorrectly how to make the SPI header cable.
I have missed that video somehow.
Yeah, I cocked it up and I counted the pins wrong.
Was that immediately after telling people to not count it that way?
Correct. And then I spent the next 2 weeks dying of cringe. Yeah. So at the start of this video, the video is going to open with saying, in the last video I showed you this, and it didn't work. This is why it didn't work, because I was a goddamn idiot kind of thing. Also in that video, though, I also demonstrated opening ASUS capsule files in UEFI tool to extract a BIOS binary image from the capsule file. So we started looking at how to open up BIOS images.
And capsules are containers.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, it's like a Pokemon. It's like a Pokeball. You open the ball and you take the Pokemon out. So yeah.
Just don't flash your Pokemon.
No. So yeah, and then in this one's a bit of a use case, but I encountered a modern laptop with a dual chip BIOS, where the BIOS image was spanned across 2 chips. Now I thought that was dead. I didn't think anyone did that on anything modern. However, because I saw this one, I'm like, oh, this is still a thing.
Was it an Intel laptop?
Yes, it was. I think, I'm fairly sure it was. So yeah. So at any rate, so I recorded a repair for that. The actual repair was a bust because I was trying to fix the laptop, and it turned out that the BIOS was not what was wrong with the laptop. So the repair was a bust, but I'm going to use that footage to say this is a dual chip spanned setup. Here's how you approach that. So yeah, so I'm going to edit that into something, and then I'm getting to the point now where I actually need to start going, okay, what are my goals with this series? Because I've covered the easy introductory stuff, and now I need to actually start thinking about what I'm actually trying to achieve with this series. So yeah, that's other stuff that's coming up. So yes. Yeg. Did I miss the mattress update? I've not followed up on it. I don't super care about it, if I'm honest. So yeah. I do need a new mattress. I should follow it up just to get a free mattress, I guess. But I'm not excited.
It's fine, just contact Dream 8. Sleep 8.
No. Yeah, I'm not excited.
Tell them, it's okay, I have my own server. I will be protected from your AWS woes.
I'm not excited about the mattress because it's not a product. Like, this is probably going to be like a $5,000 mattress or something like that. I'm going to be like, they sent me a free mattress. I wouldn't buy it, but you know, it's a product that exists.
I slept on it.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
I successfully fell asleep.
I talked last week about editing the podcast into something. Yeah, I mean, I said to someone, if anyone wants to download this podcast episode and edit it into a video that could be released on the main channel, feel free to do that. However, also, I need to buy some of those. I need to buy some of those chips and just do a mainline video about fixing the other laptop anyway. Yeah. And also, randomly, the laptop that I thought had a flex crash just seems to have come good. I opened it up, reseated everything, and then tested it again and just gave it some flex, and it seems fine. So that one just came back to life. But I've still got the 7420 in bits down there that's now missing, that now has 2 dead charge chips in it. So I need to buy some more of those charge chips because we proved that work.
Yeah.
So yeah. The new X890 desktops have ME and BIOS chips, as separate ME and BIOS chips again. Whack. Interesting. Is X890 the current? What's X890? That's. Do you mean Z890? Because that would be Intel. Yeah, Z890. Yeah, I'm guessing you meant Z890 there, Lead Farmer. Because yeah, if Z890 has a separate ME chip, then that would be relevant. But like, I don't think I'm going to buy a Z890 motherboard in order to do a demonstration. All right, I think we're done. Yeah, Z890. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Good. Right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been a conversation. I've enjoyed this conversation in English. We'll be back next week. Yes, I'm clear next. Yes, I'm fine for next week. Yeah, we'll be back next week with something else. Yeah?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Cool. I might be as well.
You'll be given a choice at some point.
I mean, I don't really have a choice. I'm kind of in a box here. I kind of have to, you know. But yeah. Bye.
Bye.